Hello and welcome to Up the Villa podcast. So if you are new to the channel, please subscribe. You'll help us grow massively, and everybody's support is absolutely huge for this channel. We're a fan-based podcast looking to have any Villa fan come on board and have their say after the games and contribute to the channel, which is as a massive part of what we're all about. So it's just me today. I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the game and where I feel we're at the minute. So we come away from St James's Park on a 1-1 draw. Where do we start with that? It was a dire game, a dire performance from Villa. We just weren't at it. I mean, I've wrote some notes here of some words, phrases that I feel like we were sloppy, lethargic, ponderous, lacked intensity, lacked any belief for me, any desire. There was no hunger. We didn't take the game to Newcastle. We didn't impose ourselves on the game, which is where I feel a little bit disappointed of where we're at the minute. I see us sitting eighth. Well, we were eighth in the Premier League. We were looking at Europe a few games ago. And I've just not seen the desire and the belief that he's going to push us this season towards those positions, which is just really disappointing for me. Obviously, I know we've had a fantastic season compared to where we thought we'd finish, and I think that's a belief across the fan base. We all thought we would be maybe a little bit lower down the table this season, so we've obviously overachieved in the fans' mindset, but I think as a club, we should be aspiring to finish as high as possible and reach those levels of what we achieved years and years ago. And that's the level that these owners are trying to get us towards. So I think for me, to be sniffing around those positions this season, we should be going for it, and we should have that belief and the desire to achieve it. And as a squad, we should have the confidence to know that it's a weird season and anything's possible. I'm looking at a team like West Ham, and I know they're probably more of an established Premier League team than us at this moment in time, and they're playing really well and they're riding that wave and they're just going for it. Everton are doing the same, and I just wish that we had that little bit of belief as well that we could do the same. So for me, that's where I'm a little bit disappointed. I'm disappointed with the midfield at the minute, the way they're performing. I put a poll on Twitter and I asked guys who they wanted to see starting, and it was a little bit of a mixed bag. But that was the midfield for me that I said, and he just lacked the energy. It lacked the teamwork for me. I just feel like it's really disjointed at the minute, and we're scratching for that perfect balance. And I think that's what's hindering us at the minute as well. It's Sanson in and one out, and then another one, and we're just not finding that balance. And obviously, I know our star players out. I know our world-class players out. You take anybody's best player out their team, and they're gonna struggle a little bit. But for me, I feel like we've still got something about us without him in that team that should be performing a little bit better. And I'm going to say, obviously, against teams like Sheffield United and Newcastle, who are struggling down the bottom of the Premier League, that's what I'm trying to say. I do feel like we should be beating those teams with the way that I know that we can play. So, today mirrored the Sheffield United game, barring that we didn't lose. It was the same sort of performance in the sense of we didn't go out and express ourselves. We didn't go out and express the way we want to play. We sort of get dragged into that sort of, and I know every game's going to be tough. We've got Newcastle, Sheffield United fighting for their lives like we were last season. I get that they're scrapping for every single ball, but you've got to take the initiative in those type of games. And some players have just got to step up and grab it by the scruff of the neck and take it to that opposition, where I feel like at the minute, and I've said it a few times now, when one player's bad, we're all bad. There's not one player that sort of like takes it. And I'm looking at Barkley a little bit because we know he's got quality. We know we've seen what he can do for Villa, but I just feel like him as a player as well, he needs to get that next move maybe, and I feel like he's not warranted us paying that transfer fee, and I don't really want us to pay that fee in the summer now, because for that price, I just can't have someone who's going to be a passenger for 4 or 5 games and might put in that odd one performance. That's not what we're about. We need more than that. So Very disappointed with the way we played. Disappointed with the last 3 games, to be honest. Sheffield United lost. Wolves, first half we were good. Second half we weren't too great. And then yesterday we just weren't great either. I said in the preview that I've watched a lot of Newcastle and I don't think they're a great side. And I just don't like coming away without a win against a team like that when we haven't played and we haven't given it our all. So, some of the stuff Dino said, it was fortunate for us to take the lead. We didn't have any rhythm. He mentioned that we should have countered and maybe gone 2-0 up. It was a poor goal to give away. He felt like it was an ugly game, but he also said that some of the players are short of confidence. And again, we've either got some real temperamental players or we're quite fragile, because again, like, we should be embracing it this season. We sit in top half of the Premier League. There's a lot for us to achieve at the minute, and it's annoying that it just feels like we're just dwindling away a little bit. Again, I mentioned a couple of pods ago that I don't want us to be, say, the Crystal Palace, where they start off really well and then they just drop like a lead balloon second half of the season. And maybe I'm being a bit unjust, but I just feel that's the vibe that we've got at the minute. We've done so well, but it just feels like at the minute we just dip in a little bit, and I feel like I don't want us to plateau to, say, a 12th to 13th, 14th place finish, knowing how hard we've worked this season, because I feel like I would be very disappointed if we don't finish in the top half this season. Looking at our form since January, we battered Palace with 10 men, and that was our best standalone performance since. We drew to Chelsea, lost to United, lost to City, beat Newcastle. We lost to Burnley, where I think it started to go downhill, our form. But then we picked up against Southampton, lost to West Ham, beat Arsenal, drew to Brighton, lost to Leicester, beat Leeds, Sheffield United lost, Wolves draw, and Newcastle draw. So it's been very up and down, and it's that rhythm thing that we've completely lost. We've lost that blockbuster Aston Villa of what we had early on in the seasons, where we could just turn it on and we'd look so dynamic going forward. It feels like now we've lost our vibe and we're just going down a different way. And like I say, we've lost our rhythm, but we need to find it back again. Obviously, we've lost our world-class player. Hopefully, we've got him back soon. It's like each week we're hoping for him to come back and gain some form. And maybe when he comes back, we're going to find our form again, because boy, do we not miss him in our team. It's massive when we're in our team. But again, like looking long term, obviously we know what we've got to do. We know where we've got to strengthen. We know the caliber of player that we've got to bring in. And I'm no doubt that the owners are going to back Dino and do that in the summer. For me, I feel like we need another central midfielder. We probably need another winger. We need another striker. Defensively, maybe need to bring in another central defender just in case as cover. Maybe backup left back as well, albeit Target is having a fantastic season, and for me, he's probably our most improved player. So yeah, just for me, just a little bit disappointed. Hopefully we can find some form, get back at it against Spurs. And yeah, I just hope you like this video. Just a little bit of a despondent one for me, just a little bit frustrating. Hopefully I've covered how I'm feeling, and then we'll be back midweek for a preview on the Spurs game, which is on next Sunday. So if you subscribe, like the video, drop in the comments, let me know where you feel like we're struggling, what you feel like we need to improve on, because that's, as a channel, that's what we're all about. We want you to come on board and have your say, basically. So whether you want to appear on the podcast, let me know. Whether you want to do any written stuff for our website, whether you want to write some articles, or whether you want to, do some player ratings, which is quite fun for you to get involved in as well. So the podcast is here for any Villa fan that wants to get involved. But I just thought I'd give my say on where I feel like we're going wrong and where I feel like my mood is after that game as well. So thanks for watching. Up the Villa, subscribe.